The MG Trophy Championship is sponsored by Knight Industries. Welcome along to our second race here at Oulton Park, the penultimate meeting of the 2018 MG Car Club MG Trophy Championship. One driver who was out of luck in race number one, the championship leader for the 170s, Paul Luty. Barry's down with him.
Now, Paul, our regular viewers will know that for many years now you've always been on the podiums at the front end. Not been so good the last 2-3 rounds, and certainly race one at Oulton Park here, so what's going on?
You tell me. Colossal brake problems. We've got two problems, a servo problem and a kickback or a knockback problem with the caliper. So the two symptoms are the pedal either is rock hard and nothing seems to happen, or the pedal goes right to the floor and nothing seems to happen. We think we've fixed the first one, the servo problem, but I've still got this knockback problem. So like in this race that we've just had there, pedal went to the floor. By the time you've realised you're not slowing down, you've already way past your braking point. So the second push, which doesn't have as much assistance, doesn't seem to really stop you. So it's handbrake it and aim for the kitty litter.
So, single day event, not much time between race one and race two. We've got race two coming up. Is there time to fix it? And even if you fix it with brakes, what do? Test it in the car park?
Well, this is the problem. I don't do any testing, and the only way that it seems to show its ugly face is on the track, flat out. Even when you're kind of half speed or three-quarter speed, doesn't seem to do it. Got to be flat out. And, well, today there's no chance to try it. So it'll be, find out at turn one.
George, fantastic to see you at Oulton Park, and thank you very much for your support as title sponsor of these programmes. Now, quite interestingly, car enthusiasts, they go and get body styling kits and so forth, and they get the cars tuned. They normally have to sort of shop around and get different places, but I believe your company does both.
Yes, indeed, yeah. We do all the current MGs, MG3, MG6, MG GS, and the new MG ZS.
So, the services and components that you supply, is this purely for racing or for racing and road?
It's for both. Most of the stuff is for road. We've done a lot of test work with our own vehicles, etc. before we actually market the parts, so that I know that we're just going to get good reviews rather than things going not to plan. A few MG dealers buy our products and put them on brand new cars.
So, title sponsor of these two rounds, what got you involved with it?
Yeah, I've always been around the MG racing, going back into the early 90s with the Maestros, Montegos. I used to race an MG Maestro Turbo, and then later a Rover 220 Turbo. So yeah, it was great fun back then. Obviously the ZRs and the ZSs today, they're still good race machines.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us, and indeed for your support this weekend. Enjoy the rest of the day.
And you too, thank you very much.
Jason Burgess leads the cars out. Graham Ross qualified on pole, but sadly we lost him in race one. We wish him well and hope to see him back for Snetterton in the final round of the year. Doug Cole, therefore, is second on the grid. And then Gary Wetton, Sam Kirkpatrick heading the 170s from Matthew Turnbull, Ryan Firth, Jack Roberts and Paul Luty, who Barry spoke to, in fifth place in Class C, the 160s. Tyler Ballard on pole from John Booth, Joseph Delgado and David Heisman. Green flag at the back of the field. We are ready for round 10 of the MG Trophy Championship. Lights out, great start by the look of it from pole position by Jason Burgess. Paul Luty in yellow and black looking down the inside line. So it's Burgess from Doug Cole, who had an excursion on the grass in race one. Third position, the white 22 of Gary Wetton, side by side by side. Mike Harris on the inside, the Class A car, and Paul Luthi keeping a watching brief at the moment. Sam Kirkpatrick in front of him and trying to squeeze through. Is Paul Luthi very close racing there. You can see them just towards, well, the outfield shot, they were just towards the right of screen. Luthi ceding to Sam Kirkpatrick in that light blue car. Sam, the 17-year-old from Cumbria. But a great start by Jason Burgess, who leads this one from Doug Cole. Doug, one of the senior racers, I'm sure he won't mind me saying that. And Ryan Firth giving chase at the moment to Paul Luthi. Luthi in yellow on board with Paul once again. Now the blue car immediately in front of us is the car that Paul's chasing. The white car, as you'll see from the orange sunstrip, is a Class A 190 brake horsepower machine. That's the beauty of this championship, that you do get the classes intermingled. Right on board with James Cole. He had a moment on the grass in race 1 as well. I'll tell you what, the Cole family won't thank me for those, but they did recover well. He's chasing Andy Firth, the Derbyshire-based racer, as they come down from Hilltop for the first time. The race leader's already into Hislops and Knickerbrook. I've got to say, it looks like a pretty good opening lap. Patrick Roberts there in the 31 chasing Ryan Firth. Ryan won race number 1, won the class in race number 1. As we look back from Paul Luthi, it was Jason Burgess who won our first race, round 9 of the championship this year. Gary Wetton second from Doug Cole in Class A. Class B, Ryan Firth from Tom Butler and Sam Kirkpatrick. Tyler Ballard taking the win of the 160 class from John Booth, who led the championship coming to Oulton Park, and newcomer Joshua Bacon in 3rd place. Mike Harris, though, at the moment has got Matt Turnbull all over the back of him, and Turnbull will be keen to try and get past. The race leaders go through. There is Mike Harris. Turnbull with the yellow sunstrip, leading class at the moment from Sam Kirkpatrick, with Paul Luthi in 3rd position. Then Ryan Firth, Patrick Roberts, the 55 of Tom Butler. So pretty good start really by all concerned, and no casualties at this stage. As you heard from Barry, it is a single race day, so there's no overnight to get cars repaired. It's a tall order if there are problems to get the car sorted out. Again, as you heard Paul say, if you've got a brake problem, where do you test it out? You've literally got to wait for the race, but it all seems to be okay at the moment. Sam Kirkpatrick starts to put pressure on Matt Turnbull. He's having a look, but nothing quite doing there as they go through the banked hairpin here and head down towards the Britain's chicane once again. A bit of a lock-up there from Turnbull. The front 3 runners together in the largest of classes, the 170 brake horsepower class. The 190s, though, headed by Jason Turnbull. Doug Cole second. Then Gary Wetton, the 46-year-old Welshman, is in 3rd place, putting Doug Cole under a bit of pressure at the moment. Doug, who hails from Aylesbury and goes up Clay Hill, holding on to 2nd place. Can't do a lot at the moment to keep in touch with the race leader. Jason Burgess with 3 wins and 3 second places to his credit so far this year, on 152 points coming into the meeting. Andy Spence was 3rd in 190s, and Graham Ross, the championship leader, again arriving here on 167. Tyler Ballard, the driver, busy chasing John Booth in the championship standings for the 160s. There's James Cole in the 88. We're right on board with James under the bridge, coming up into Lodge Corner, too far back here to make a challenge. You can see there actually from that outfield shot just how much the onboard cameras, being a very wide angle, it accentuates the gap between the cars. He probably was close enough maybe to have a nibble. Briefly on board with Patrick Booth, the man from Windsor. He's been up on the podium once this year so far in MG Trophy Championship. On board again with Gary Wetton. Doug Cole not getting away here. This is where Doug had his excursion in a very busy opening lap on race number 1, and no problems for him here as they go through Island Bend and up to Shell Oil's corner. Paul Luthi, though, getting a box seat view here and getting stuck into the lead battle now. Very tricky part of the circuit here as they come up towards the hairpin. And it's Kirkpatrick that's got the class lead now. He's got the inside line. Paul Luthi's going to try and follow him through and take 2nd position, which he could do. Get a great shot there of the banking. Luthi, I think, might be able to sneak 2nd place here off Matt Turnbull, but it's Sam Kirkpatrick, the race leader. The 64 car Matt Turnbull got a little bit more momentum out of the hairpin, and this is bringing Ryan Firth into the mix in 4th place. Jack Roberts in 5th in 31, he's there as well, so it's a quintet for the lead of the 170s. This is why drivers come and race in the MG Car Club MG Trophy Championship. Very, very close racing indeed. Paul Luthi trying to get up into second. Now Ryan Firth looking around the outside line, and Firth read that well, goes through. Ryan Firth up into 3rd place. Paul Luthi now with the attentions of the 31 Jack Roberts. So Luthi, from challenging for second, suddenly finds himself down in 4th place in class, and the class leader is Sam Kirkpatrick, looking to do what he did at Donington Park back in July. That's take a win in the second race of the day. Up Clay Hill they go again. It's fair to say that Matt Turnbull wants the lead back in the 64 car. Black 64 very much on the case of Sam Kirkpatrick. This formula is just about right, because you're seeing overtaking. It's about maybe drivers making little mistakes and going for that, but there are lots of twists and turns, and with the way the formula runs, the way the specifications are, there are opportunities to overtake. Other classes won't necessarily do that there. There's Tyler Ballard in black, who leads the Class C's, the 160. Second position, John Booth, the man from Chesterfield, 50 years of age. Then we've got the 39 car, which is James Blake running in the 170s, and then David Heisman from Joshua Bacon, and then Phil Tomlinson, who's in behind. So Josh Bacon at the moment not on a podium but challenging for it again in his first meeting. Has a look here as Josh Bacon. He's going to go on the inside line and try and get the podium position here away from David Heisman. He's got the inside line, and that is move completed up onto the podium in the 160s. So we follow Phil Tomlinson at the back of this group. Phil with a slightly more powerful car might be able to make a move on these guys and move further up. If you do join the racing, of course, in the 170s, you could race some of the 160s in your early races and practice your racecraft. James Cole still busy at the moment chasing Andy Firth. Andy not making any mistakes, and James hasn't been able to capitalise on any of those. Up to Hilltop now. Watch the run down into Hislops, which is the chicane here. We'll have more for you after the break. Welcome back to Oulton Park. This the battle for 8th place in the 170 class, 13th place overall. James Cole still busy chasing Andy Firth. Cole's going to have a look to the inside, but Firth's got that covered, stays on the outside line. This could be about momentum. Out of the corner, down through Deer Leap and along the main straight here for the chaser. Let's see whether he can get that momentum to try and pull alongside, possibly get an overlap as they cross the line. Meanwhile, at the head of the 170s, it's still Sam Kirkpatrick, Matt Turnbull in black in second. 3rd place, Ryan Firth, and then 4th position, Paul Luthi in yellow and black. Paul not looking happy. I wonder if that's those brake problems not settled as well he would like, perhaps, but still there in 4th position. And these guys well clear, as you can see. So Sam Kirkpatrick really looking to emulate what he did at Donington Park, which was a winning race too, 7th position overall. He's running in 5th place in this one. James Cole still trying everything that he can. Again, much wider line here, lights ablaze from him, trying to phase the man in front, but I don't think that's going to affect Andy Firth at all. And James trying to get momentum. Andy Firth comes sort of halfway across the track. Now he's on the inside run. James will go to the outside. There's still room there, still room at the moment. Can't quite do it, so it's a wide sweep into Old Hall Corner and down through Denton's to try and go through. Now there's a flashing light there on the gantry. It's a safety car light. The safety car is going to be deployed. We're only at the start of the lap. We won't see the safety car until the end of this lap. The reason is, as you can see there, a parked car. Jack Roberts having problems, and Jack was up at the sharp end overall. So yellow lights and yellow flags shown all the way round the track, a full course caution, and Jason Burgess means that his lead is eroded away. Doug Cole second, Gary Wetton there in white is third. Mike Harris will close up as well, and it means that Sam Kirkpatrick, Matt Turnbull, Ryan Firth and Paul Luthi will all get closer as well in the 170 class, plus Tyler Ballard and John Booth presumably in the 160s. So the marshals will be working hard to try and deal with Jack Roberts' car. And Jason Burgess continues to... Now we've got a green flag. They're not going to deploy the safety car. The reason being that Jack Roberts' car has been cleared. That's great news from the race perspective and a very good call from the organisers. It was a full course caution, but before they could even get to see the safety car, everything is clear and we're racing again. That was difficult for Jason Burgess, to be fair, because normally a race leader would expect to actually see the safety car and see the safety car lights go out so that he could time his start. He didn't have that luxury, and it means that Doug Cole is there. But from the organisers' point of view, hopefully explained what's happened. It's about racing these weekends. The car was clear, so they are away. Going through shot is Phil Tomlinson as we look across the track, but it's Jason Burgess who has the pace beneath him, who had a really good restart along Lakeside once again into Shell Oils. Doug Cole closing up, and this is maybe the sense of a first victory of the year for the 99 car. The man from Aylesbury has had a plethora of podium finishes this year and wants that first win. He's riding the curbs, he's working hard. Let's have a look and see what Jason Burgess does in terms of defence. Comes over the top of Hilltop, down the hill, in towards Hislops. Right, left, right, the sequence here in the chicane. I tell you what, that wasn't defensive at all from the race leader. I think that he's pretty confident with the wheels under him. So the 16 car, man from Stamford, still leads. Doug Cole in second place. Gary Weston dropping away a little bit again in third. Doug Cole's got to try and regroup. Just looking at the lap times, Jason Burgess, if anything, is getting into the groove in this race. He's getting faster as the race goes on. Doug Cole not doing too shabbily either. He seems to be improving as well. The lap times here just a shade under 2 minutes. So as I said, it is a long lap here on the international circuit here at Oulton Park. And Burgess still there. Burgess, Cole and Wetton, the lead trio, back with Andy Firth and James Cole, still putting the pressure on. What a game of cat and mouse we've had between these two. The battle now for 7th place in class, obviously with the demise of Jack Roberts, so they have made up a place. Jack Roberts, that's his second retirement of the year, retired from race 2 at Brands Hatch, if memory serves correctly. Now what can James do? He's going to have a look at the inside line here, but Firth will come across and grab that, and that could give the initiative. Again, you can see how much wider the 88 car is going. Looking for momentum down through, well, that momentum extinguished there. He had a dab on the brakes as they went down into Deer Leap. Jason Burgess, the race leader. This is Ray Ferguson that he's closing on at the moment. Ray sticks to the inside line. Doug Cole's going to go past Ray as well, running in 13th place in Class B, Ray Ferguson. Cole closing up, rides the curbs in spectacular style, does the 99 car, and he is back on the case of the race leader. Blue flag being shown for Ferguson. Past him goes Gary Wetton in third position, but this race is far from over. Doug Cole knows that, and I tell you what, Jason Burgess knows it as well. Jason Burgess looking for a 4th win of the year, or make him one shy of Graham Ross's target. Ross is going to be disappointed, of course, to have had that non-finish and non-started this one. Back to Firth and Cole, still dicing hard for 7th place in class. Through Britons they go. And wherever you look, there are some superb battles going on in this race, and they go over Hilltop as the race leaders come across the line again onto the line. Jason Burgess sets the fastest lap on that one. Burgess fastest lap, responding to Cole's pressure. A 1:57.7. Doug Cole got his best lap as well on that one. So they are really racing hard. And James Cole has to take to the escape road. Patrick Booth goes through and into 8th place in class. Side by side here, Richard Marsh and Robin Walker. Separate classes, of course. Robin Walker 5th in Class A. Richard Marsh is the car immediately in front of what was the Andy Firth James Cole battle, but battle in the lead. Jason Burgess has responded to the pressure from Doug Cole. Is he going to improve again on this lap? He's not setting purple sectors on the timing screen, so it looks like his penultimate lap time is going to be the fastest lap of the race for Jason Burgess. Doug Cole is still chasing, but it looks like it could be in vain. Having said that, this will be Doug's first second position of the year, I think, so he'll be a great result. He wanted the win, as does Jason Burgess, as they head up towards Lodge Corner for the last time. Doug Cole still giving chase, but Jason Burgess looking for win number 4. He's only got to clear this corner. Here's the back view. Doug Cole getting closer. There's the Lodge in the background. Down into Dearly, up the other side. Look for the checkered flag as they come out of the corner. And it's Jason Burgess who wins round 10 of the championship. Delighted he is with that too. Cole second, Gary Wetton in third. Mike Harris is in 4th place. A little bit of a wait before we see the leading 160, second win of the season for newcomer Sam Kirkpatrick, really putting the problems he had at Silverstone in perspective and well behind him. Remember, he had a write-off at Silverstone in his first ever race. He takes the second win of the year. Matt Turnbull is second in class from Ryan Firth. Here comes Ryan in the white car, the black car immediately ahead of him being Matthew Turnbull. Paul Luthi finishing 4th ahead of Tom Butler. Now Tyler Ballard, the 80 car going out of shot, leads the 160s ahead of John Booth, so Ballard's going to take another win. Booth will be second, and Josh Bacon remained in 3rd place after that overtake we saw earlier on. That completes our 3 classes, and some good racing here at Oulton Park once again. Just Snetterton left to go now at the end of September, but today double win for Jason Burgess. Overall, Doug Cole getting second, Gary Wetton third from Mike Harris, Sam Kirkpatrick winning Class B from Matthew Turnbull and Ryan Firth, Paul Luthi next from Tom Butler, Robin Walker completing the top 10. Richard Marsh was 11th ahead of Andy Firth, and then Patrick Booth, James Cole next up from Gianni Piccioni and Christopher Boulton. Tyler Ballard wins Class C from John Booth, Phil Tomlinson next, then Josh Bacon in 20th, 21st going to David Heisman, 4th in Class C. John Gill and Ray Ferguson next up. Non-finishes for James Blake, sadly, and also Jack Roberts.
2 out of 2, couldn't do better than that, really.
No, it was a fabulous weekend, Barry. Really chuffed. So that was not such an eventful race. Race 2 wasn't, but it was hard fought because I got a lead established in the first half, and then we had the safety car, which turned out actually they changed their mind halfway through the lap, but Doug shut up on me then, and he kept me honest the whole race. He drove well. So
Doug, back on the podium where you belong there. You're also a strong finisher there, and you were certainly giving Jason a run for his money.
Yeah, we gave him a good run for that. We had a bit of disappointment in the first race where we lost the alternator and it did the battery, so that went flat. But yeah, I had good pace in that race, and I was trying my hardest, but I threw the kitchen sink at him, and he had a touch more today. But I'm glad we're second, and fastest lap for me ever around here, 1 minute 57 something. So yeah, pleased with that, and the car came back in 1 bit, which is even more important.
Sam, fantastic weekend. What a great result.
Yeah, it was a better result than the first race. No track limits penalties.
Now, you were doing extremely well as it was, and then when we had that sort of safety car break, as it were, part way through, that turned to play into hands a little bit more.
Yeah, Matt slowed down a bit more than I did because I was trying to catch up the cars in front, and then I saw the green flag before he did, so I could set off, and then got a bit of a gap.
Matt, great race there, and moving up that championship table as well. So overall, a pretty good season so far.
Yeah, it's been good so far. Yeah, I've had a lot of bad luck. Cat failed last round and just bits and bobs like that. So we've not finished race 2 for 2 meetings. So struggled a little bit there, but yeah, pace is there anyway. So which is good.
John, great race there, and second in class, which is no mean feat. Good race there between you and Tyler.
Yes, he had a really blistering start. He got past 170 and a 190. I got past a couple of 170s, and then everything settled down a bit, and we could see each other after everybody else had gone. But Tyler drove a perfect race, to be honest with you. He didn't make many mistakes. I did catch him up, but by the time I could actually do anything about it, my tyres were just going off completely. So we stayed more or less the same essentially once we were together. But yeah, it was a great race, really clean. I got the fastest lap, which I'm quite pleased about. But it means from a championship point of view, it's getting a bit tight.
Championship looks like this. Graham Ross still has the championship lead from Jason Burgess. Ryan Firth leading Class B ahead of Paul Luthi and Matt Turnbull. Tom Butler in 6th, jointly with Andy Spencer. Then Ollie Hood, Richard Marsh and Patrick Booth. Thanks for watching today. Join us next time when the championship concludes at Snetterton.